Yeah. See now your fingers are opening. When you did this, your fingers opened a little. Yeah, like that. See? Everything affects everything. Every time you bend, your forearm moves. Every time you bend, your fingers, they're all fulcrums and lever arms and force to resistance. And, right? It's tiny. It's all very tiny. Especially as it gets going fast. As you mentioned, it becomes imperceptible. Okay? It can become almost imperceptible. Where to the untrained eye, it would be as if you were just turning your wrist for a regular wrist turn. Let's take a quick look. We're not going to break this one down, Eddie. We're not going to get into any theory because we just did that. Okay, and I just want to get to something else. I'll try to get in as much as I can here. Okay, so what we're looking to do now is we're going to look at the slam and feint, right? It's just a reorganization of these simple motions that we're learning, right? So now it starts with the 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 so let's do it. Okay, so now it's just a different timing of the motions. Let me hear you play. Now it becomes a dotted eighth note, the 16th note. So now it's starting to, perhaps you could say it's starting to swing. Now remember, we're not going to overmove. That thumb.
What tempo do you want me to play that, Kevin?
No tempo for a sec. I just want you to deconstruct it. I want you to look at it and what you're seeing with the motions that you're going to use to play it. Different techniques would use some other motions. Go ahead and count it for me. So it's an up, it's a little up, up.
So, because right on, like on the downbeat of the 1, we've got the flam.
I'm sorry. Let's see. Right. So it's a little throw. A little throw. So it's
hand stroke.
So it's a little tap, and then so that 1 and then the next left is going to be a little up. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So that's your down. Count out loud.
And 1 and 2 and 1.
Okay, now you got that right. You understand what's happening. It's like the feint and flam. We have 3 notes in each hand. Okay. One of which will be an up. One will be a throw. So there'll be a single stroke, an up to a down, and then there'll be just a regular tap. But for me, as we did previously with the other stroke, the feint and flam, I had you play it without throwing to help you understand how little you really need to move, how little this up can be, so that it's not this thing. So just go ahead and count out loud and play it with no throws. Just turning higher for the accent.
1 and 2 and 1 and 2.
Now it's very important that when you're playing this, we don't want to feel you holding anything stiff. Remember, because we want the counterbalance, because we're going to take advantage of this counterbalance. Just by turning our wrists, there's some kind of turning this much. There seems to be something happening here. See, we can take advantage of that. Look how it doesn't need to move much. Yes, fluid it all, but it's like the snake. Dick Wilson, it's like right here. Sorry for the metaphor. It's like a snake by the tail. It's this kind of very fluid motion. So go ahead.
I'll do it without throwing.
without throwing, but keep your arms nice and relaxed so that they can feel some countervalence. Don't want to make too big a deal about that.
So, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and
So the would be the up.
2 and 1.
Second would be the up.
And 1.
Second of 1.
2.
Second of 2.
1 and 2.
Now just break the wrist a little bit more for the note that would be the up. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit.
Okay, imperceptible.
Depending on how big you want to make the motion. But right now, yeah, make it imperceptible so that you don't end up with this thing that you want to do.
1, 2.
Not bad. Look how it's now it's smooth. Now you're not waiting at the top, and you're not shoving with your arm like you were before. It's better. There you go. All right. Okay, so now we've moved on to the flam and feint. And you're going to take that as you did the feint and flam. First, you can just deconstruct it. You're going to go back and forth, playing it with no throws, but with relaxed arms.
Okay.
Notice that when you play it with just regular wrist turns, you don't do what you do earlier for the feint and flam, where you were making this exaggerated up, and then you throw your fingers open.
Yeah.
Now, if you're playing that either of the strokes, and you're not making it up to a throw, and you just notice that to get an accent, you're just going to turn higher, you're not throwing your fingers open. So when you make that little bend, you don't need to throw your fingers open for the throw. It's just a wrist turn.
Yeah.
Okay, right? See how fluid everything gets and how much smaller everything is. So everything can just hang relaxed, and yet we are making up to downs. Okay, they're just not what you thought they were. Now, how will that work if we were, because, you know, these are our scales and arpeggios. Other instruments will practice a long tone for hours, you know, and we as drummers, it would behoove us to do the same, I think. So we need to work on our roll strokes every day, doubles to roll strokes. Now we're on doubles wrist. Let me hear doubles on the wrist at 40.
Okay. Do you want me to turn to full height, or?
Well, let's capture some of the momentum we just developed with working on the feint and flam, and then the flam and feint. We weren't moving very much, right? We had these little taps. So let's not exaggerate anything right now. We're just gonna do like a 3-inch turn. Now remember, we're thinking about where do we feel the impact as we strike the surface. We want to make the fulcrum the first finger and thumb, or then we'll be squeezing potentially with the first finger and thumb in an exaggerated way, and it becomes the fulcrum. Go ahead and squeeze with the first finger and thumb. Different, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll loosen that up now.
And right now we feel the fulcrum potential that exists in the middle finger. Richard Martinez would call it fulcrum potential. Thank you, Richard. Now, I don't want you turning so high. You've forgotten something else. See, and this is what happens, because we were talking about the idea of, does the stick, Richard Wilson say, does the stick ask for clearance to come back down? It's a sense we're just tossing it up. We're just tossing it up. We're following it up. Okay? So we don't want So what started to happen, you were playing doubles, and it started to become It's not. We're just tossing it up and letting the weight of the stick fall back to earth and following it back. You don't need to add very much. You really don't need to add very much. Fulcrum potential, don't forget, don't make, as soon as I start seeing your thumb do your old plus sign routine, where it forgets that all it needs to do is remember that it's guiding the lever arm over the fulcrum, which is the axis of rotation. Remember, the axis of rotation is axis of rotation. The axis of rotation is perpendicular to the orbital plane. Try to remember that, Joe.
Okay.
It's a great outgoing message, by the way.
That came from who?
That was Richard Wilson. It's a great outgoing message. Right? You're going to leave a drum-related outgoing message on your voicemail. Okay, right? So we don't, right? That's all that thumb and first finger need to do, is maintain this structure, the integrity of the machine that we've built. Okay, there you go. Now remember, fulcrum potential, middle finger. We're not slamming down. We're not asking for anything more than the weight of the stick being tossed up with the weight of the hand, and then the whole thing falling back to earth or turning back to earth. We don't need to add anything right now. We're just 3 inches high. Remember, we're barely coming up. All those elements have to still be in place. There you go. See? Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, let's go play 2 notes in each hand now. Cindy's. Just remember the arms are loose, so that they have some feeling of availability as well. We have forearm potential.
Yes.
Okay, that's what Captain Crabb is. And don't go slamming down. Okay?
Yeah, I caught myself there.
Watch to help you solidify this in your mind in terms of the conception of it. Remember, there's some kind of countervalence that happens. So watch. If I start to do this, see, now the countervalence is wonky. Now you get this every time. That's not what we want. We want this nice, smooth countervalence. See, we don't see the forearm reacting to motion unevenly. It's a perfect countervailing force. So watch, if you start to shove or force down, you get this.
Right.
This. That's not what we want. There you go. It's nice and easy, so it doesn't take much force. You get this chunky attack right on the bottom of the bead. All the energy. Get through the head. Easy does it. Now remember, there's the fulcrum potential in the right. See that thumb and first finger start to wander and get confused. It means, are you really just maintaining the feeling of the stick landing in that middle finger, with the first finger and thumb comfortably guiding the stick? Not turning the first finger and thumb into a fulcrum by squeezing it to death. Better. See, your right already got it's a little better. Don't come down. Okay, 7-stroke roll and counting.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Don't get louder. The wrists have not gotten any louder, meaning not turning any higher. It only goes one way until you turn it around. Nice and easy. You're starting to slam down now. As I introduce the accent, you're starting to slam down. More gentle. Okay, go the other way. Go the other way now for me. See, now you're not, although you're waiting, it's real slow, but it's fine. You're not doing this gigantic thing. And I'm starting to see you learn to not have to slam down, so you get this every time. It's just this easy thing that has force, kind of, it seems like it's equal force in both directions.
I'll lead with the left hand now.
Don't point your finger, even force.
One E and two E and 4 E
Easier turns. Make them smaller. 3 inches, I thought we discussed. Right. How it comes up? Okay. I'm going to duplicate the experiment or the instruction that seemed to be very beneficial in terms of how your mind works. This seemed to help you. The fake slam and the slam and feint. And play 7-stroke roll with no throws. What would you do? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Right.
I don't need to go like this. I'm exaggerating. I don't mean to, I've heard you play your ass off, so I get that. But what we're talking about is understanding this technique. See? So if we were just going to 3, 5, 6, we would just turn higher. Make it throw. I just make a little, see, I don't need to do a huge thing. What's 2, 3, 4, here's a regular wrist turn. Or here it is with a little throw. 3, 4, 5, I'm waiting. Now I'm going to make a little, see, it's just hardly anything. If I wanted to hardly be anything, I could move more, but it would all be in proportion.
Okay.
So go ahead, because I'm trying to have you learn to not move more.
You want me to?
So go ahead and play it without a throw.
Okay.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
This is right-handed, yeah.
Nice and easy, that's good. Now you're going to turn higher. See, you really want to play nice and easy, so it's not hard to make an accent. Yeah, see? Now this time, just introduce a tiny little throw. Right now. There! Now we do that the other way.
Okay.
And so we're going to go the other way now, and I'm going to have you play with no throw. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is break your wrist just before you go to make that twister. Too much. Copy your left. Let your left teach you. No, you're coming up too soon. You didn't at all for no throw. No throw. Okay. Nope. Your left didn't do that. Watch. I'm going to do it again. 1, 2, 3. Here's no throw. 6, 7. And here's with a throw. And watch. I wait. Real slow. I'm not throwing. I haven't gone up yet. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going up in my right. Now I'm going to go up. Tiny. And I waited. I don't do this. Wait.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right. One pass with no throw, and then a pass with a throw where you wait. You can just wait. Why use your body if you don't need to? You can just rest. Nice and easy. No throw. Now you're going to break your wrist. Not yet. Not yet. Now. There. See, it made it smooth, and you didn't wait at the top. Okay, both ways. Can you do it both ways? Better. Both ways.
So both ways, no throw. Both ways, throw.
Keep going. You got a tiny throw, so I didn't want to interrupt it.
Right.
Relax your arms. Like no. Just change the slam. That little bit of slamming will mess up your body countervail, so you can't capture the moment. Go and make a little throw this time. Right now. See the weight just before you make your big wrister. Now. There, other way. Don't slam, don't slam. Better, but don't slam. Nice and easy, 3 inches. Now. There you go. Okay, all right. That's what we're trying. Much better.
Okay. Slam.
See, yeah, what we're trying to do is to learn to not to slam. And eventually, see, I don't need to be all uptight. I don't need to be all uptight, and it will turn into rebounds. But until you learn to try not to slam, because I came up a little early in the right that time. You'll decide when the timing is right. It's faster. I'll come up now. Now I come up. It almost becomes an upstroke. Now definitely an upstroke, right? Okay. So the timing of when you come up will change as it gets faster.
Because you were, yeah. Well, I guess we'll get into that later on. Because there's some complexity in that. Because you were coming up on the double, like it was.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. As it gets faster, you'll end up coming up on the double.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that a lot. I just love how Lou, with that motion, when you did it, it was quite amazing. There was just a float to the hand.
That's cool. Now see, now you're starting to see it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can hear it.
Oh yeah.
And you can hear it because everything is as relaxed as possible, and the stick is making good contact with the instrument.
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking for. Okay? Very cool, man. I'm going to turn off the recording.
Okay.